we're going to use Saphira to manage a new type of project, an electronic flight book application, and generate some hazards that might occur with it and control measures. So we're going to call this our electronic flight book, and we'll say that this is an app that manages NOTAMs for pilots. And what we'll do is we'll say predict hazards. It's not our robotics project in this case. That's what we typically do. And as we generate this project, in the background, we're aggregating some information about what would compose a NOTAM EFB application and estimating what the typical hazards would be with the system. Now that these are there, for example, some statements regarding the fact that the pilots may not be alerted about new NOTAMs in real time. They may not receive the appropriate details based on the current flight plan. These are all things that we must design against. And so we've marked these as potentially hazards, and we're going to generate control measures for them. So let's reword one of these really quickly. So let's say the system does not fails to alert pilots about new NOTAMs in real time. So we'll update that one, and we'll call this one a hazard too while we're at it. So to do that, we mark it as unit hazard. And we'll say that this particular one is actually in a particular system. So we can say that this is, say, our NOTAM subcomponent within the EFB app. All right, so once this is saved, we can check this box, generate a control measure, and in just a sec, we'll have some nice details about what we'll be able to run with. Let's give it a sec to process, and here we have it. So this one, -0, looks like in this case, because we didn't have any standards we wanted to reference, we just referenced our project itself, so we can actually delete any information about norm. But if you had actually provided a standard under which you wanted to develop this application, for example, AMC 20-21 or whatever the EFB, ESA, AMC is, we'd be able to look for exactly the right component. And the context here is, right now we've described how we go about identifying a particular control measure. And we have a pretty basic control measure here just for this one hazard, and we can confirm and add it. And now you have a central place where not only you have managed all your hazards, but even your control measures, and you can trace all of these all the way back in the trace graph through the originating system, in this case, the NOTAM. So as we make progress on this, as we build up this project, we'll color out the different types of hazards and control measures. And no matter where you gather evidence about how you implement these, for example, maybe in your code, maybe in your tickets, we'll be able to gather all of that information, your tests, any other details, and aggregate the final reports that you can actually relay out to your auditor or your regulator, and just be ready to go with all the right information out the gate.